Hi everyone, my name's Matt. I'm one of the careers advisors here at York St John, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about how you can make the most of your time at YSJ. One way that you might be able to do this is through setting yourself some goals, maybe for the next week, for the next month, or your first academic year. And this video will give you a few tips on how you can do that effectively. So what is goal setting? Well, it's you giving time and energy to discovering your own motivations and what success looks like for you. It's understanding what you want to do and how to achieve it. Finally, it's about creating that plan that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve. It's about really pinpointing what that version of success is and how you'd like to achieve it. Is it something in your first year at York St John that you'd like to achieve, or something during your academic journey with us? There are two tools in particular that you can use to help you during your goal setting activity. The first are SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific, what is it in particular that you want to achieve? Measurable, how are you going to measure your impact and whether you've achieved it or not? Achievable, actually, is this particular goal achievable in the first place? How do you know this? Relevant, how does this fit into your plan as a whole? And finally, time-bound, when do you want to achieve this goal by? Here's an example of what a SMART target could be. So first, you want to find a voluntary job that builds your problem solving and team working skills. You'll make sure this is measurable by contacting a certain amount of organisations by the end of the month. To help you achieve this, you'll speak to the volunteering coordinator for support, finding organisations, and the careers service will help you to draft any emails. This is relevant to your overall career plan because you know that this voluntary work will help you to build skills that you will need for after you've finished your degree and to develop your networks. And finally, it's time bound. You want to do this volunteering over the summer, so you need to start volunteering after this year's deadlines for exams and essays. The second tool that you can use are DUM goals. So DUM stands for dream driven, uplifting, method based, and behaviour based. Here's one example of a DUM goal. So first, it's dream driven. So you want to get a graduate job when you graduate. That is your dream for the future. Uplifting. Well, you know that volunteering will help you to demonstrate the skills that you have and help you to take a step closer to that dream. Method-based, so what will you do? So you'll use a support and offer from the university. You may have already started research, so what skills are required for that particular career path, and you understanding what skills you have and what skills you need to develop. And then finally, what behaviour is needed. So you'll need to be proactive in making this happen, and you know this will take time and energy, but you understand the benefit of this and what you want from this experience. So here are some top tips for goal setting. The first is to write things down. Not only is this beneficial to get things out of your head and onto a piece of paper, but also it's able to be stuck on the wall to remind you each day what you're working towards. The next tip is to keep yourself accountable. So maybe tell a friend, a family member, or a careers advisor about your goal, and this will help you to keep focused and keep accountable for what you want to achieve. The next tip is to break it down into a to-do list or an action plan. This can help you to keep track on what you want to achieve and break it down to easy to achieve chunks to help you to achieve the overall goal in the future. The next tip is to imagine convincing someone else why it's important and write those ideas down. Sometimes it can be really easy to give advice but not take your own advice. So doing this, it will highlight why you're doing this in the first place and keep you motivated throughout the journey. And finally, my last tip would be to revisit it and tick things off and edit as you learn more. This is a flexible process that you'll need to come back to time and time again. So by ticking things off, it'll help you to keep track on what you have done and what you need to do. And if you need to tweak the goal or tweak what you'll need to do to achieve that goal throughout, that's fine too. It's all about setting ourselves up to be successful and succeeding in achieving the goal that we set ourselves. One extra tool that you can use to help you during your goal setting and your ultimate work towards that goal is an action plan. Here's just one template of an example action plan. As you can see at the top, you can write your goal, in particular what you want to achieve. Below that you've got the action steps, so what actions do you need to take? And you can write different actions that you will need to undertake to achieve that particular goal. Next, who's responsible? So for the most part, this might be yourself, but actually, if, for example, one of the action plans is to have a CV check, a careers advisor or member of the CPSO team might be responsible for supporting you to check your CV. What is the start date for this? What are the key milestones? How often are you going to check back on if you've achieved this particular action or goal? When would you like to complete this action by? Finally, what resources will you need? So that, for example, could be like a CV resource or something else from the career service. And finally, what is the desired outcome? So I hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions about goal setting or anything career related that you'd like to talk about, you can book an appointment with a careers advisor on LaunchPad Online, or you can contact us by email at careers@yorksj.ac.uk.